Welcome back to another section of command injection. So, command injection is a type of attacking vector where we inject arbitrary OS commands onto a vulnerable web application to retrieve data from it. See, remove directories, remove functions, kill a process. So, we provide arbitrary commands onto a OS system running on the web application. Let me explain it to you with a very interesting example. So, the hacker sets up a listener onto this PC, okay? Then it pings the local host of the web application and sets a netcat and a port number onto this and reply on the local host. Therefore, the arbitrary command is thus executed by the server and the outpost is sent to the attacker. Attacker gets the reverse shell. How he got a reverse shell? Because he injected a OS command over here and set up a port where he can listen to and reply to the local host. Let me explain it in further detail. Let's say this is an attacker. He wants to attack this web server. What exactly he would do is he would target this web application to run its arbitrary OS commands to get access to this web server. He would use this web application to provide some malicious payloads or files to this web server which when executed would give a reverse shell to the hacker. So, in the examples, you would learn more what and how OS command injection basically works. Welcome everyone, this is a lab of OS command injection. So, we will start penetrating it. So, as always, we will clear the history and we would click on the view details section. And till now we only got one response which is of no use to us. Now what we will do, we will explore more of it, and here is a column known as check stock. When we would click on it, it generates another HTTP request saying the product ID and the store ID. So one by one we will try these parameters. So we will test this parameter by giving a Linux command whoami. Right? When we gave this command, it gave me this thing. It gave me home Peter. That means we are able to know that this is the user and user of that Linux machine which this website is hosted onto. We can write anything onto this, any Linux command onto this, like pwd. See, this is the present working directory. If we want to go to the home directory, we would do this command and it says permission denied. So we can try to look into the etc password file, but we won't be able to do that because we are stuck in some directory where the product ID and the store ID are stored in. So we were able to do the command injection by using a parameter. We will learn more about it in the subsequent illustrations. So, hello everyone, this is an advanced example of a blind OS command injection with output redirection. How we would do this? This says this lab contains a blind OS command injection onto the vulnerability feedback form. We know that the feedback form is vulnerable. What we would do is, before doing anything, we would clear the HTTP history so that we can later look at the response. So we would write here ABC, email as DEF, subject as WEF, and message as something. We would intercept this request and submit feedback. it says supply the email in a desirable format. We would do it and we would change this email to this file. Let me explain you what we exactly did. I appended this command to say who am I and var www.images output.txt. So we are injecting this particular text file onto that particular directory. So we will forward this and it says thank you for submitting feedback. Alright, so what we need to do this, we will go back to the home page and go to the HTTP history and click onto this thing. So we see a variety of responses we got. So on analyzing it, we would try, see this file name is getting fetched from the backend and we injected a new file onto the backend. So what we will do, we would take this to repeater and the file name was output.txt. When we did this, it says Peter Sateku. Now you guys won't understand what is the exact meaning of this file. Let me explain it to you. We write the command as who am I. On supplying that command, when I wrote who am I, it gave me the answer of who am I onto this output.txt file. And Peter Setuke is the answer of who am I. This is how we use the OS command injection to get the sensitive information into an output file and then viewing that file. This was all for the OS command injection.